So one time, a few years ago, a therapist labeled me as being maladaptive or maladjusted alongside a list of other conditions. And later that day, kind of by chance, I came across this quote from Krishnamurti. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Now, I'm not sharing this quote to excuse any behavior, but it really made me think, what is the real goal here? Am I going to spend my life swapping one coping mechanism for another, or is there a way to address the deeper underlying issues?
My name is John. I got a couple more tracks for y'all.
How much do I want to adapt to a world or a music industry that doesn't value women or doesn't value human life or mental health? And is there a way to have some impact on these things and to change it for the better?
Energy.
How do I stay grounded as an artist while I'm forced to be online 24/7? How do I balance a music career with my life outdoors and somehow make these two worlds make sense? How do I stop taking any of this shit seriously and just have fun again? Giving up or feeling powerless is a lot easier than adapting, but I don't want to quit. I want to try to find some light at the end of the tunnel again and keep moving forward. So I'm moving into my van. This is my way of adapting to a profoundly sick society and profoundly sick music industry. I want to be able to tour more affordably and make music in the environments that inspire me. And also just have the freedom to meet new people, collaborate with other artists, do more trail running and backcountry skiing and all of the outdoor side quests that inspire so much of the music that I make. And most importantly, just to get out and experience the world again through my own lens, not through screens, not through social media, not through other people's perspectives and opinions, but my own lived experiences. So this video diary is about to be a very messy behind-the-scenes look at my creative process and travels and everything in between. This is Tonka. She's a 1992 Mitsubishi Delica L300, imported from Japan by Norm at Rank 1 Imports in San Francisco. I flew out to San Francisco to pick up the van and then drove it all the way back to my home in Ketchum, Idaho. And she had great bones and no rust, but still needed a ton of mechanical work done. So I spent the better part of a year replacing parts and getting her caught up on maintenance at Nomadic Van. And I also worked at the shop for a summer to try to help pay for everything. I didn't have a budget for a fancy van build, so I did a no-build van build, which you can see a separate video on my channel. This took me like 2 days and only cost about $300. Finally, it was time to start moving my things into storage and pack up for my first week as a van lifer. I left pretty unceremoniously on a boring hot day to drive from Idaho out to Denver, Colorado for a show at Larimer Lounge. My route took me through Arco, Idaho, which, fun fact, is the first city in the world to ever be fully powered by nuclear power. Kinda creepy. filled up on diesel and kept it moving into a very boring part of Wyoming. All right, here we go. Day one of van life. I've had this dream of getting a Delica and being fully nomadic for so many years. Like, it feels like forever. But I just kept making excuses as to like why I couldn't start or why it wasn't the right time. You know, not enough money. I don't have time for a van build. If I want a career in music, this isn't practical. But today I finally started, and it's not perfect. I don't have a fancy van build. I have some Amazon furniture and a Totoro plushie. I don't have a set itinerary besides some shows that are on the calendar. I've been really fortunate to travel a lot in my life, but never like this. So this is extremely new, and I have a lot to learn, and I'm incredibly excited and scared. If you're someone who's also chasing a dream, or you just want to get out and travel more, maybe you want to explore your creativity or music more deeply, I hope you'll follow along because it's going to be a mix of a lot of crazy things that I love. I'll be sharing everything I learn along the way, my favorite camping locations, trails, music that I'm into, music that I'm making. There'll be lots of outdoor DJ sets recorded and shared here. And I'll be sharing advice on what helps me with my creativity, especially when I'm in environments like this and not working with a ton of resources. I really think that's like the ultimate form of creativity, is making something despite the challenges, despite any adversity. You know, making music isn't about having the perfect studio setup and infinite time and budget on your hands. It's about what you can create despite what's going on in your life or what's going on in the world, and reflecting all of that mess as well as the good stuff. So let's see where this takes us. I camped somewhere kind of random off the highway just to chill and work on my set, and then woke up super early the next morning to go on a hike near Boulder, Colorado. This was at the Royal Arch Trailhead. Getting some exercise before a show really helps me regulate my nervous system, but it was like over 100 degrees that day, so I splurged and I thought I would get a motel room to shower before my set. Now, I've stayed in some sketchy places before, but this had to be like in the top 3, so once the police were outside, I decided maybe I should pack up and leave. So I just drove over to the venue early and then walked around a little bit before it was time to play. Said hi to this demon bunny. Wished that this was open. The Glamour Lounge was so fun. The place was packed. Everyone brought the absolute best energy. I got to test a bunch of new music. And I tried to fit every possible BPM that I could into my set. Shout out their production team. The lighting and the sound was super on point the whole night. And then I stealth camped by a dumpster next to my friend's place. After getting some brunch, which I forgot to document, my friend Molly suggested we go check out Rainbow Lakes. These were a super short hike from the trailhead, and even though there was still snow, we went for a quick swim. There's a campground right by the trailhead that's super nice, so I decided to just stay there for 2 nights. Busted out my skincare routine. It's super simple right now. I just use products from The Ordinary because it's cheap and effective. But my one bougie item right now is my red light mask. The next day was a Sunday, so I decided to take a lazy day and just check out the nearby town of Nederland, Colorado? Nederland? I don't know how you say it. It was so charming, and I know there's also a ski resort nearby, so I want to come back in the winter and check it out. I tried to relax and read and do some yoga, but I'm still not entirely comfortable filming myself. This pizza place was amazing, and they had NAs, which I love. For some reason, I thought it would be a great idea to go for a trail run as soon as I was done eating, so did that real quick and said hi to some deer. The next morning, I felt motivated to record a little DJ set up on the roof.
Morning. Sorry, I'm filming something. It looks a little weird. Oh, no, you're fine. You're not interrupting.
Had a few spectators who seemed to enjoy it, and then I stopped for some brunch on my way back on the road. I accidentally drove through this adorable town on my way to I-70 that felt like I was stepping back in time. And then made a quick pit stop in Vail to do some trail running because I'd never been to Vail before. The town felt very expensive, but the surrounding trails and the mountains were stunning. I definitely recommend going here in the summertime and checking it out. I cut my run a little short because I needed to find a campsite before it got dark. So I found this place outside of Gypsum, Colorado. I've been using the app iOverlander while I'm on the go to find last-minute camping locations and dispersed camping, and it has never failed me. It's so good. Quick dinner of champions before passing out for the night. This next morning, I worked on 2 new edits that I was really excited about, so I decided to set up another little rooftop DJ set and do some recording before I hit the road again. It was once again over 100 degrees today on the way into southern Utah, and Tonka has no air conditioner, so my way of surviving was going on dips in the Colorado River every few hours and taking breaks to work on more ideas that came to me when I was driving. Yeah, this was peak misery, so I pulled off the highway and once again accidentally stumbled upon the most adorable town I've ever seen. Felt personally attacked by that sign, but scored some ice cream and kept it moving. Eventually, I made my way back to Idaho and took a quick rest day at my boyfriend's place before we headed up to Stanley, which is one of my favorite places in the world. It's right next to the Sawtooth Mountains. And we went up there with friends and family to go to Sawtooth Gathering, which is a folk and bluegrass music festival. The weather was a little spotty, but we kept ourselves entertained with playing stump and card games in the vans. Even though these aren't really my main genres of music, the musicians this weekend were so incredible, and there was lots of shredding in the rain. My favorite bakery in the world is in Stanley, so we went there the next morning.
Good morning.
How was your night?
Long.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun.
Did you have fun?
Yeah. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, so pretty.
Yeah, sweet questions.
You have a booger hanging.
No.
If you go, get the scones because they are unreal. And then, yeah, just hung out at camp and finished out an amazing first week of van life. Make sure you like and subscribe to check out the next episode.
Look normal.
I do.
Smile normal.
That's my smile.